Hello, everybody. Uh, Here I am again with another topic on enzyme. Of course, this maybe, as far as the book is concerned, I may add my own uh, presentations. Additional, you need to know on enzymes. Of course, it is huge part of biochemistry. Enzymology is really rapidly developing, evolving science with huge application, of course. And I'll come with another presentation. Just now, I will give you the last part of the last part means there is one remaining part, of course, one part of the last part, that is application of enzymes, how industrial application of enzymes, of course. And before we dive into the presentation, please don't forget subscribing, sharing, and liking my videos. Let's go. This application of enzymes in industries and their benefits, it says, huge industrial benefit, of course, huge areas you utilize enzymes, huge industries, and lots of industries utilize enzymes for various purposes, even commercial purpose. We produce enzymes for commerce. Industrial application of enzymes, this is subtitle. And use of enzymes, use of enzyme application, of course. Enzymes are widely used in industrial production of food, feed animal food, textile, paper making, laser industries, detergents, pharmaceuticals, and other industrial productions or products. Enzymes are powerful tools in sustaining a clean environment in several ways. We have seen, you see, clean environment. Enzymes are biological catalysts that play a crucial role in various industrial applications, offering numerous benefits. Benefits, let's say, we have talked. What is the benefits of using enzymes relative to using other chemicals, other artificial chemicals? The benefit that using enzymes in industries offers to humanity is one, since enzymes catalyze specific reactions, they don't give you unwanted products. You see, not not produce unwanted. They are specific in their action, so they act on a specific substrate and give you specific product that you desire. No unwanted waste product. This enhances the product quality also. The second, efficiency. Because they are highly efficient, enzymes are very efficient and thus used at low concentrations. You should not purchase high amount because they are efficient. Efficient workers are needed in small amount to do their work efficiently. And the third, since enzymes are biodegradable, you see they are protein molecules, they cause little or no environmental problem, reduced waste and pollution, of course. You see, if after using enzymes, if you dispose to the environment, microbes can use them as food, biodegradable, easily broken down and to release minerals to the soil and be used the biomass building in microbes in the soil, which are beneficial themselves, of course. Again, the other benefit, enzymes work in mild conditions, optimum condition, room temperature, body temperature. Enzymes generally work at low temperature, so that they save energy also. Energy saved. The amount of electricity that you use to warm up enzymes is very low. Even if you are using uh, coal or petroleum as energy source to warm up enzymes for their activities, you require to burn a very small amount of petroleum or coal, which means less carbon dioxide, which means less greenhouse gas production, therefore environmentally friendly. Um, Industrial use of enzymes. Now we have talked about the benefits, the unique benefits of using enzymes in industrial use of enzymes. Let's go to the real part of this section. Enzymes are applied in many fields to help the human life. And one area is enzymes as detergents or as cleaning agents. Washing powders, we call them, are enzymes used to break down proteins, starch, fats, stains on clothes, or not only clothes, on utensils or materials used in industries or in the kitchen. Enzymes used in food industry, for example, enzymes used in making baby foods, enzymes in production of fructose syrup production, enzymes in fruit juice production, enzymes used to produce double and single sugars from complex carbohydrates, enzymes in the milk industry or dairy industry to produce cheese, yogurt, and some other products. The other is biofuel industry, the use of enzymes in biofuel industry, the production of fuel from biological molecules. Biofuel production enzymes like cellulases and xylenases convert biological molecule like cellulose, into fermentable sugars, enabling sustainable fuel productions. You see, you can change cellulose into ethanol. Ethanol can be used as energy source to run motors or to run vehicles. Waste management. Enzymes assist in waste management by breaking down contaminants, aiding in environmental cleanup. You see, you can use enzymes to break down wastes in the environment, to clean up environment. This is not related, of course, with biofuel industry, of course. This is in waste management industry. Enzymes in medicine, enzymes also have therapeutic application in medicine, both as medications and for diagnosis. In the pharmaceutical industry, enzymes are used in drugs, antibiotics, household products to speed up chemical reactions and synthesis. Enzymes in textile and leather industries. Enzymes are also used in paper industry, enzymes in brewing industry, and enzymes in rubber industry. All these are different areas of application of enzymes at industrial scale. Enzymes improve the utilization of feed rates of starch, protein, and minerals, and degrade the anti-nutritional factors in animal feed, prevent animal indigestion, improve feed digestibility, especially important in animal husbandry and animal, agriculture, animal purpose. Therefore, to increase feed, utilization of feed. That means if the food that you provide to your cattle is contains non-digestible components, you add enzyme. The enzyme help in digesting the non-digestible part so that the food that you give to your cattle will have increased nutritional capacity, improved the utilization of feed, rate of starch, protein, minerals, and degrade the anti-nutrition. If the feed contains anti-nutritional factors, the enzyme also removes those anti-nutritional factors by changing their chemistry, so that there will not be a problem of indigestion, problem of health in your cattle. Source of enzymes. Enzymes are obtained from organisms. How do we get enzymes for industrial application? Of course, the most common from the most common organisms from which we extract enzymes for commercial purpose, for industrial purposes, microorganisms, plants, and animals. But now most enzymes are obtained from uh, microbial fermentation, from microorganisms. Enzymes, let's see broadly the different areas of application of enzymes. Enzymes as detergents or as cleaning agents or biological washing powders, or also liquid. They could be powder or liquid form of enzyme for washing. Usually contain the enzymes proteases, protein digesting, lipases, amylases, removing many biological stains efficiently at low temperature. This proteases and amylases in washer detergents. We also use not only for cleaning clothes but cleaning dishes, industrial dishes. Amylase for machine dish washing to remove resistant starch residues. Proteases used for pre-soak conditions and direct liquid application, helping with removal of protein stains from clothes, especially if you are working in uh, areas like meat processing factories. Your clothes may come in contact with protein stains, fat stains. You require enzymes, proteases, and lipases to remove those stains of fat and lipids from your clothes. When you work in a textile industry, you require the amylase, the enzyme cellulase to clean your clothes from the debris of uh, cellulose and some starch stains. Enzymes in food industry. Amylase catalyze the release of simple sugars from starch. Food industry. If you require simple sugars in food industry to make biscuits containing simple sugars which are sweet, you use amylase, which converts starch into maltose, then simple sugars. Processes, biscuits manufacturers use them to lower the protein level of flour, especially wheat flour. Wheat flour contains high amount of protein, and these proteins usually, when eaten by infants or kids, usually they do have allergic effect. The protein in flour, the flour of wheat, and those that to prepare biscuit from the flour of wheat, uh, you have to remove the protein by applying enzymes known as proteases. This is a group of enzymes. These are groups of enzymes that act on proteins, break down proteins. Enzymes in fructose syrup production, you see, you can make very sweet liquid from the flour of starch, either corn or any other grain. First, the starch is broken down into maltose by amylase. Maltose is then broken down into glucose by maltase. Glucose is converted into the very sweet simple sugar fructose by glucose isomerase. Then starch has been changed into very sweet syrup known as fructose syrup, high fructose syrup. And what is the use of high fructose syrup? It is used in sweet industries to make the sweetest candies. I mean, not the sweetest, really, of course. There are some proteins or amino acids which are very much sweeter than the sweet industry to add to foods to increase sweetness of your food, to make some candies to make sweet, and also in medicine and pharmacology to be added to the very bitter medicines for kids, made as syrup, to make them sweet so that babies will not dislike or like this not will not dislike them, just to prevent their bitterness so that babies will take them without problem. Enzymes used when making baby foods. You can high protein foods are treated by proteases such as trypsin to pre-digest baby foods, which change proteins into peptones and then into amino acids, which make it easier for young babies digestive system, which is not ready for digestion young, so that it can be absorbed easily. Meat tenderizers, for example, papain is a protein. I mean, the enzyme that's extracted from papaya. It is industrially used to make very hard, non-digestible proteins into soft and chewable proteins, or easy for cooking. Enzymes in fruit juice production, especially pectines. Pectins are substances in fruit, flammable and cell walls, which contain also hemicellulose and cellulose. You see, fruit juice, when extracted, may contain pectins, polysaccharide, pectins, hemicellulose, and cellulose. The presence of these fibers uh, makes the juice unattractive because the color becomes cloudy. It's not clean, yellowish, or whatever color the fruit has. Therefore, it makes cloudy, and also decreases the sweetness. If we add the enzyme pectinase, which breaks down pectins, zelanase and cellulase, which break down hemicellulose and cellulose, we can remove these non-digestible fibers from the juice, which reduce the bright color and also reduce the sweetness. So by adding these enzymes, we can have three benefits, you see. One, adding these enzymes, pectinase, zelanase, and the cellulase enzymes. One, uh, removes the fibers so that uh, gives its natural color, removes the cloudiness. Second, it increases the sweetness, and also it increases the volume of the juice. Three, killing three birds with one stone means enzymes in their industry, the milk industry. We add biochemosine or rennin or rennet to coagulate milk in the process of cheese production. Before cheese is produced, the liquid milk must be coagulated. Lipase ripening blue malt in cheese making, blue cheese. When you prepare blue cheese, the fragrance, the good smell, and the activity of the enzyme, the activity of the mold that grows on the cheese is also increased, enhanced. Uh, the lactase breaks lactose to glucose and galactose to produce lactose-free milk. Why do we need milk free from lactose for patients with lactose intolerance? What are these patients? Lactose intolerance patients have a genetic problem where they lack the enzyme lactase in small intestine, so that whenever they drink milk, the milk protein, the milk sugar lactose will not be broken down to glucose and galactose. It remains in the small intestine. Increases osmotic potential, so water fills the small intestine, goes large intestine, and very liquid the area. There is also pain, abdominal cramp, pain, gas production. When lactose reaches to the large intestine, bacteria feed on the lactose and produce gas. You see, it is troublesome. Therefore, to help these people with lactose intolerance, you give them lactose-free milk by passing the milk that contains lactose through an enzyme known as lactase. Enzymes in medicine, they are used as drugs for treatment of disease, in diagnosis, in preparation of medicine, and to remove toxic substances. You can have some examples here. Asparaginase, glutaminase for diseases like leukemia, collagenases for skin ulcers, hyaluronidases for heart attack, lysozyme for infection, to prevent infection, and you apply on wounds. Lysozyme can break down bacteria cell wall and help removing bacteria by removing the cell wall. Therefore, you can apply lysozyme on wounds so that bacteria that are trying to grow on wounds will be killed by this enzyme. These are some other examples of enzymes used as a medicine. For diagnosis purpose, you can use clean stick strips, strip of paper that contains enzymes on it, sticky enzymes attached on it permanently. Therefore, when you dip this paper, just similar to litmus paper, clean stick strips, you put in urine in a test tube, take urine sample in a test tube. If the urine contains glucose in urine in the presence of oxygen is changed by glucose oxidase is one of the enzymes in the clean stick strip. Glucose oxidase changes glucose in urine, oxidizes it into gluconic acid. Again, gluconic acid in the presence of hydrogen peroxide, and indicator known as reduced chromogen DH2 plus the second enzyme in this strip is peroxidase. It converts into water and chromogen, oxidized chromogen, the D without hydrogen, you see. Now there is color change from blue, light blue, green, depending on the level of glucose in the urine. If it's a very, very small amount of glucose, it's blue. Medium glucose, light blue. Then the very high amount of glucose, green, depending on the level of glucose. Therefore, it shows whether there is glucose and how amount of glucose in urine. And this is indicator for the diabetes mellitus patients, diabetic patients, to see whether their urine contains glucose, whether their blood is high in glucose, so that they have to decide their diet to control the amount of glucose in their blood. For drug synthesis, example, abacavir sulfate, an antiretroviral drug, you use enzyme. Enzymes in textile industry, and the use of enzymes textile industry is one of the most rapidly growing fields in industrial enzymology. Starch has for a long time been used as protective glue of fibers in weaving of fabrics. This is called sizing. You see, you use starch as a protective glue of fibers in the weaving industry, weaving of fabrics. This is called sizing. Enzymes are used to remove the starch in a process called desizing. Amylases are used in this process since they do not harm the textile fibers. Cellulose remove cellulose microfibrils which are formed during washing, just from the surface. Cellulose also to boil polish cotton fabric so that it can produce smoother and glossier finish. Cotton products or fabrics are smoother when we treat the surface with cellulose. Also, cellulose to boil stone, denim, the enzyme gives the stone washed effect, especially to wash denim. These are special types of textile products, industries. When we apply cellulose in some parts of this special clothes, it gives stone washed effect, and that means, of course, special areas where there is fading area or some quality for the clothes. In laser industry, proteases to remove hair from the hide or the first raw material, that means the hide or the skin of animals. Lipases to remove fat, any fat remains on the hide or skin of animals. Paper industry also uses enzymes. Amylase is used in starch conversion, degrades starch to lower viscosity, aiding sizing, coating of paper. Xylidase in pre-bleaching the pulp. Pulp is the first raw product for paper industry. Reduces bleach required for decolorizing and produces white paper. When you add xylidase, the pulp is made to be decolorized so that whiter paper is possible to produce. Esterases in control of stickiness. Stickies glues introduced during paper recycling. Stickies would otherwise affect the machinery and reduce the quantity of paper. You see, therefore you reduce the activity of stickies which are used introduced during paper recycling process. Brewing industry for production of alcoholic beverage, amylase, gluconases, proteases. If the seed contains protease, it can digest proteins. Beta gluconases, arabinoxylonases, and amyloglucosidases, polulanases, proteases. All these are very important in brewing industry to act on different substrates, biological substrates, including cellulose, semicellulose, and some other molecules like starch, in order to produce simple sugars for fermentation. Biofuel production, we have raised this issue. We act on raw materials, biological raw material like cellulose, hemicellulose, other organic compounds to be changed into simple sugars, then to ethanol. Ethanol can be used as fuel for running machineries, including cars. Rubber industry is also catalyst is one good enzyme to be used in rubber industry to generate oxygen from peroxide to convert latex into foam rubber. Used for biosciences or molecular biology, enzymes required for molecular biology techniques, genetic engineering used in manipulation of DNA in genetic engineering. Example, DNA polymerase, DNA ligase, restriction enzymes are utilized in genetic engineering or genetic manipulation of the DNA. There is some enzymes and their role, biological role, and their perspective industry they are used. Taken from your textbook, cellulosis, biofuel industry, break down cellulose into sugars and ferment to produce cellulosic ethanol. Simple sugar, fermented ethanol. That ethanol is primarily obtained from cellulose, so it is known as cellulosic ethanol. This is in biofuel industry, and the ethanol is used as a biofuel for running machineries like car. Ligninase and biofuel industry, again, pre-treatment of biomass for biofuel production. You pre-treat biomass, means this plant biomass like wood, like broken down wood products or cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin, all these are treated by lignases. Lignin also, lignin is one component of polysaccharide, polysaccharide complex, polysaccharide component of plants, and they are digested first by ligninases in the production of biofuel. The others, proteases, amylase, lipase in biological detergent or washing powder. Proteases remove protein stains from the clothes or materials. Amylase remove starch grains from materials or clothes. Lipase remove fat or oil stains from laundry or dishware, dish material. The other is manganese. It is biological detergent. Remove food stains from the common food additive gum. This is an additive added for fragrance and special color of the food. If there is contamination of their clothes with this food additive, you apply manganese containing biological detergent to remove it. Beta gluconase brewing industry improve beer filtration. Papain is derived from papaya. Culinary uses, that means to be added to food so that meat becomes soft for cooking. Ranine, dairy industry, in hydrolyzing protein in the manufacturing cheese, coagulation of cheese for cheese production, coagulation of milk for cheese production. Trypsin, food processing, manufacturing, hypoallergenic baby foods. You see, when baby foods contain some proteins which are allergic to babies, you remove those proteins by adding trypsin so that the food becomes non-allergic or less allergic. Cellulases, pectinases in food processing, especially to clarify fruit juices, to remove the non-digestible cloudy, making the juice cloudy, the pectin, pectinases, cellulases, semicellulases. Nucleases, nucleic acid digesting enzymes. Ligases, these are also affecting DNA and RNA. Polymerases, these are enzymes in molecular biology used restriction digestion and polymerase chain reaction to create recombinant DNA. They will have application in genetic engineering, and therefore this is summary of some of the enzymes used in different industries. As far as your textbook is concerned, please focus on those taken from this as far as industrial application of enzymes concerned. Thank you very much. I will come by another the last part of this biology enzyme next time, and also I have additional short videos that you should know. Bye bye. Thank you very much. Don't forget subscription, liking, and sharing.